One example that I can give you where the state has no control over social media is the defendant. There's been allegations that she's been tweeting, I think is the word. I don't have any of that, so I'm not familiar with that, but I know that I've been told that she's been tweeting through, I guess it's an acquaintance of hers, a female acquaintance of hers, and there are things that have been going out. So if we're talking about the flames of interest by the media, whether it's conventional or social, in this case, they're being fanned by the defendant herself. One can't forget that she's a witness in this case, and she's actually violating the court's rule about discussing her testimony. So if we're going to be looking at that, and quite frankly, as I think of it now, I'm asking the court to issue an order that she desist from that because, again, she has testified, she is discussing her testimony, and again, if we're going to talk about disparaging comments that are made, again, I don't have an account, so I don't know the exact words. I don't watch television coverage of this particular trial because I just don't. But I've been told that she indicates something about the prosecutor and how tall he is. This is the type of conduct that they're complaining the prosecutor is doing, but when you take a look at it, it's actually created by the defendant. And I've gone at length to go over that because there is this constant attack on the prosecutor about his conduct, about what the media says about him. What the media and the people out there choose to believe is up to them. I have no control over it, and it appears, however, that the defendant does have control and seems to be attempting to manipulate it. So I have my written response. I think it addresses the court's issues or the defendant's issues, and I ask the court to deny the defendant's request again for another mistrial. Thank you.
In regards to defending himself from prosecutorial misconduct, he says, well, Ms. Arias has a Twitter account, so there. Okay, well, that's not really a responsive argument, is it? And he said he doesn't have any evidence of this. He's just going to point it out and say, I didn't commit misconduct because she has a Twitter account. Okay, this isn't second grade. This is a court of law, and it should be treated as such. This trial is not just being tried in this courtroom. It is being tried everywhere. And again, I talked about the fantasy land of this jury not hearing these proceedings. So regardless of Ms. Arias' Twitter accounts and comments on his heights or whatever he wants to attribute to her, it does not change the game.
With regard to the state's request that the court enter an order regarding the defendant tweeting from jail, I have no information about that situation. Mr. Nurmi, do you want to be heard on that request?
Your Honor, if the counsel for the state wishes to cease any behavior that he alleges to Ms. Arias, I believe the proper course of action would be to put a motion in writing, see why he believes she's violating any orders of this court or any rules. I don't understand what the correlation might be. So she has freedom of speech rights, as does anyone else. So I don't understand even the assertion. I see it as a way to deflect this court's attention from his conduct, but be that as it may, if he wants her to cease a particular behavior that he's attributing to her, I believe he would have to come forward with some evidence that it's her, and he would need to come forth with some sort of legal argument as to why it would be improper.
Mr. Martinez, do you have anything else that you want to present on that issue at this time?
It's something that our office has discussed. However, we do not want to be accused of prosecutorial misconduct for conducting an investigation. I know that it has been brought to my attention by my office that this is happening and that I should bring it to the court's attention and ask you what I just asked you. The idea of conducting an investigation on this issue creates, again, the situation where the state is put in a position where it then is accused of somehow attempting to intimidate the defendant. We do not want to be accused of any of that in any way, shape, or form, but we have received information, and that's the information that she is tweeting through. I think the name is Donovan, I think it may be Donovan Barron, something like that. I don't know the name. I didn't bring it with me, so that's all I have. We have not done anything other than view what the media has out there.
All right, well, without more specific information regarding the allegation, this court is not going to take any action with regard to the defendant allegedly tweeting from jail. I believe she is in the custody of the sheriff's office, and that is within their jurisdiction to set rules and limits with regard to her behavior in that regard. If there is something more specific that you believe is affecting the trial, I will certainly take that request into consideration.